Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Marvel Must-Haves July 2024. Ooh. Now this one's pretty interesting. Now granted, I'm mainly only doing one because this has Amazing Spider-Man issue 39, which I've reviewed, Avengers issue 7, which I've reviewed, and Moon Knight issue 1, which I have not reviewed. So this one's a pretty interesting one to pick up if you get to see it, because those are pretty, that one's like when gang wars kind of popping off with Spidey, Avengers issue 7 kind of doing stuff with getting us into like Nightmare doing some crazy ass shit and kind of getting set up for more kind of tribulation events. That one was pretty cool. And the Moon Knight one was nice because I've been really getting into Jed McKay's kind of stuff, and that's the one that I really want to pop off with right now because I hadn't been reading it, but I really enjoyed what I saw here. So if you are interested in seeing like my reviews, I've got Spider-Man issue 39 and the Avengers issue 7, so you could pop to those if you want to. And now we're going to do Moon Knight issue 1. His mission is justice. Ooh. Welcome to the Midnight Mission. My name is Mr. Knight. How can I help you? How can I help? And that is just, I really like that showcasing off Mr. Knight right there. Look, this is all real weird, but people say that when something weird is going on, you're the guy to talk to. So people have been going missing on my block. Screech? I'll look into it. As we then see that this kind of leads off to the vampire kind of stuff going on. Okay, baby vampires, here we go. It's time. You remember how we brought you subords into the structure? Now it's your turn. It's a big moment for you guys. I'm really excited for you. These are like the most annoying motherfuckers, but this is like how any of this pyramid scheme shit works. Once you pull in a new recruit and turn them, they'll be your subords, and then you'll reach Omnicron level. We just want to go home. We believe in you guys. And we just see these vampires just like, please let us go. And then we see Moon Knight popping, ready to come in. That's just fucking great artwork there. Remember what the tutor says. It's your moment if you can seize it. Hey, what's that? And then this is just a 2-page grade of just crash. Nice night. And just seeing them be like, ah, shit. And then I love the transition of it. Like going, we see Moon Knight's cape as it then slides on its side. Oh no, oh no. What was that? Some kind of, I warned you. I warned all of you. Ah! I paint my symbol on the walls for 2 reasons. The first is so people know that they're safe. My people. The people traveling at night. The second, a warning. As we then see a skull pop up. And then just like, ah, shit! This is my territory. This is my congregation. This is my mission. I'm the Moon Knight. My warnings were there. This is what happens when you ignore them. As we see him standing over his body with stakes. It's like, shit. Come on, we need to get out of here before they get back. And the other ones are trying to run. You killed them? You killed them? Oh, thank you. As we see the Dusted Skulls coming and Moon Knight's going after them like, oh, shit. No, wait, we weren't with them. They kidnapped us. We're from this neighborhood. They turned us. They made us like them, but we're not like them. We're not killers. We didn't ask for this. I was a vegan before, for God's sake. You spared them? And I love seeing that these people were turned against their will, and Moon Knight made the choice not to. He dropped the stake. Yes, Dr. Sturman, I did. Reese was right. They may have been vampires, but they were also innocents. They had been kidnapped and turned by some vampiric self-actualization pyramid scheme called... That's a fucking disgusting, like, it's... Those are bad to begin with, but you add the vampire shit into the mix, it's like, oh god. They were also travelers at night, and they needed my protection. Right, your religious duty. Let's talk about that. You started a church, a mission. I am a high priest of Khonshu. But aren't you Jewish? And isn't that a contradiction in terms? My father was a rabbi. I was a war criminal. Contradictions are nothing new for me. Let's go over that. Mark Spector, U.S. Marine Corps, CIA, and then private military contracting, mainly throughout Africa and South America. Private military contracting. Please don't sanitize the facts on my account. I was a bad man who did bad things for people in foreign countries for money. I do like this because I'm I know Moon Knight. I've seen him in like Avengers and other kind of comics and stuff, and I've liked his popping up. This is a nice kind of way of at least giving me more kind of information on him. But then you went to Salima in North Sudan with Raoul Bushman. You grew a conscience. You made a stand and went against your fellow mercenaries. As we then see, you died next to a statue of Khonshu, Moon. You're right, I did grow conscience. But after years spent fighting dirty wars, my soul was barren earth. To sprout such a flower as that, well, it had to be watered with blood, my blood. You claim that the Egyptian god Khonshu brought you back to life. Correct. I was given my life back in return for becoming the Fist of Khonshu, to become the traveler, the embracer, the pathfinder, the defender of those who travel at night. And it's kind of cool to see this, but also see it in action that we'd seen before. Now, this is normally where a mental health professional might be skeptical, but I agreed to be your therapist at the request of the Avengers, so I understand that your situation is unique. Good on the Avengers for helping out with that. You died at least twice more, once at the bottom of the East River, another when the Shadowkeep, my headquarters, was blown up around me. Mark, may I ask you a question, please? Can you die? It's like, that's a very important and interesting question. I don't know. As we then shift more to the Midnight Mission. Welcome to the Midnight Mission. My name is Mr. Knight. How can I help you? How can I help? In my building, they come out at night. They scratch at the doors. They whisper such things. Please, people are frightened. They already tried to take my neighbor. It's like, okay, let's see what's going on. Please don't worry. I'll handle it. As we see him blasting through, it's like, oh shit. I really love the artwork and style. The black and the white, just the shifting, like that gradation there with his cowl is just amazing. So he's punching these things. Close the door and lock it. It's like, ah, shit. Then we just see him like busted through and beating more of them. As one, he's falling out. I know who you are. Vermin. One of Spider-Man's foes. Some mad science guinea pig. Used to be a man. Hates being alone. Now you can clone yourself. Good trick. Means you're never alone. Unless I kill all of you right now. And I can. And I will. I'm not Spider-Man. I'm Moon Knight and I don't die. It's like, shit. Fuck. I understand how losing your people hurt you. But these are my people you're trying to eat. You tried to take one of mine. I took one of yours. You can leave it at that, scurry off and keep clear of my territory, or you can test me further. And I really like how menacing Moon Knight looks there. It's like, shit. Your choice. The famous Midnight Mission. I'm glad you like it. You know, I rather do. Let's talk about Khonshu. Ah, Khonshu. Your god, who brought you back from the dead, and whose duty you perform every night. Let me cut right to it. I know Khonshu is unworthy of my worship, or anyone's. I know he tried to take over the world. In Avengers 33 to 37. Thank you for bringing that up. I do remember that. I know he deserves to be in prison wherever the Aesir are keeping him off in Asgard, but unworthy or not, I am his fist. It's kind of interesting that he doesn't, like, he knows that Khonshu is unworthy and that he's an asshole. I am the high priest of a god I am estranged from. I have taken on his duty as my own. Khonshu brought me back to life. His duty is my debt, and now my duty is my duty. And I like that. It's like, okay, he's not doing this to please Khonshu or anything like that. He was brought back to life by Khonshu, and he's going to use this chance to help other people and make this his duty. A priest at odds with his god. What does that make you, then? Apostate? Schismatic? Heretic? Take your choice, I suppose. Reese, could we have some coffee, please? Get it yourself. It's like, oh, shit. And then we shift over to, I really love that, and I really love it showing the moon with his cape like that. Cal, mic check, Reese. Loud and clear. You at the clinic yet? Almost. They said a supervillain was attacking it. That's what they said. Doesn't look like he's doing a great job of it. Ah! No, please don't stop on my account, 8-Ball. 8-Ball. Finally picked on the wrong civilian, huh? Oh, crud. Moon Knight, listen, man. Don't cut my face off. I'll surrender. Ah, Moon Knight. This one attacked my clinic in search of Oxycontin. I like your style, Mr. Doctor. Dr. Badir. I've just taken over the free clinic here. I had wondered when I might meet you. It's like, oh. And I, again, like the use of paneling here. It just is a little bit different. Really showcases, I like how it's a little bit off and not completely clean and clear. It's like, block here, block here, block here. Just a little bit off. That's the kind of thing people say right before they take a swing at me. Do we have beef that I don't know about? You're a fist of Khonshu, Mr. Spectre. You have a sacred duty. The fist of Khonshu. And I don't remember seeing you at the church social. Consider me recently arrived from the home office, and disappointed with what I see. Our god languishes in the custody of foreign deities, and what is his fist doing? Allowing vampires to exist in territory consecrated to the duty of Khonshu. Absurd. Blasphemous. It's like, shit, what the fuck's going on with this? What are you? Moon wizard? Werewolf? You don't look like a mummy. Whichever of Khonshu's cronies you are, don't forget who you're talking to. I'm the Fist of Khonshu, High Priest to the Moon God. I outrank you. So, we've landed on not cutting my face off? Good choice, guys. Love it. As I said before, I'm a simple doctor, as this doctor dude is, like, pretty much handcuffed 8-ball. But I can assure you, Mr. Spectre, there is but one who outranks me in the cult of Khonshu, and you are not him. It's like, oh shit. Do you know the story of Caedmon? No. Please tell me. And I know this is kind of weird. I like that we've got enough action, and I know this is more kind of talking head stuff here, but I do like it setting up and getting through and having us understand what's going on here. Caedmon is the earliest English poet we have a name for. He lived in a monastery as a lay brother. The story goes that he was a simple-minded fellow, better suited to looking after the monastery's animals than any more cerebral pursuits. It was said he was ignorant to the art of songs, which kept him out of the feasting and singing the other monks got up to. That is, until one night he received a dream from an angel, or a messenger. The messenger asked him to sing a hymn, which Caedmon suddenly found he could do. Upon waking up, it was discovered that he was a changed man. He could write beautiful verse. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Where are we going with this story? This isn't about my dissociative identity disorder. This is about something else. Your DID we can treat, but you've been in brain-to-brain contact with a god, Mark. However we define God, MRI and MEG scans show that your brain structure has been fundamentally changed by that. It's like, oh shit. And then this is interesting, kind of delving into it. My specialty is dealing with superhuman meticide. Cases like Jack Monroe and Rutherford Winter. Contact with something rewrote Caedmon's brain, turning him from a adult to a poet. I'm concerned about what changes you've gone through, and what changes you will go through. Here. Menticide. And that, the systematic effort to undermine and destroy a person's values and beliefs. Brainwashing, that kind of stuff. This is a different kind of thing that she's kind of doing through. And what changes you will go through. A previous doctor of mine told me something similar, as we see him pretty much going chainsaw fucking crazy on a certain kind of thing. It's like, god damn. But once you began trying to kill me, we never followed up on it. It's like, yeah, that would happen. Of course, Elisa Warsame, the dictator's daughter. Is that going to cause an issue of trust in our relationship? I don't believe so, as we see the difference between Moon Knight and Mr. Knight, as one is sweeping stuff up, one's throwing a dude off a building, and the other one is got a crowbar going after something else. I've spent my life in dangerous places, dangerous situations. My paranoia has been carefully cultivated into a keenly honed tool. But I can't go on seeing enemies behind every drawn curtain. So we then see Mr. Knight kind of resting. It's no way to live. I agree. Welcome to the Midnight Mission. I'm Mr. Knight. How can I help? Yep, har, here you go. I thought I had to get my own coffee. I brought it for myself before I remembered that I don't drink coffee anymore. Thanks, Reese. I'm going to be up all day. You know why I like you, Reese? Because I'm the only person you know who's biologically compelled to keep the same schedule as you? It's like, that's the thing. It's because you don't try to fix me. And I kind of get that. It's like, sometimes you have problems and everything, and sometimes you just want people to help, like, just support you. It's not easy when everyone thinks you're crazy. It's even harder when they're right. But I have a job to do. It's the reason I come back from the dead over and over. I'm the priest of Khonshu. I protect those who travel at night. It's my sacred duty. Sacred duty. Listen to this guy. It's like, ah, shit. It's like, I get that with Mark. I get that with everything kind of going on with this. Like, sometimes people can do stuff that can help you, but sometimes you've got something that you've got to do. And even though you know you're kind of crazy or whatnot, you kind of want to help those people. You make me sick, Moon Knight, or Mr. Knight, or Jake Lockley, or Stephen Grant, or Mark Spector. You don't know it, but I've made a project of you, pal. Now, normally, my statements are big. Lots of flash, lots of pizzazz, lots of bodies, but you offend me. You offend me with everything you stand for. You have so much potential, but you're too intent on your crutch, your sacred duty. So for you, I'm going to go small, personal, bespoke. I'm going to break your faith, Moon Knight. I'm going to show you that the only thing worth believing in is nothing. And only then, with all the precious lies you've told yourself burned to ash, will you see what you really are. It's like, god damn. Those are always the nutty ones to kind of deal with. Hear me, Khonshu, greatest god of the great gods. You who are called Traveler, Embracer, Pathfinder, as we see the doctor that we've been introduced to. Defender, your fist has erred. He has strayed from your purpose. Moon Knight requires correction, but I keep the faith. I enact your will. I carry out your duty. Your right hand has failed you, but your left has not. Your other fist remains faithful. Your hunter's moon. It's like, oh shit, the left fist of Khonshu, and that helps me out a lot because now I know who Hunter's Moon is in Blood Hunt and everything, and how he's been popping up and everything. It's like, that's actually kind of cool, and I really love the art style there. Just the black mask, the full moon, and how it's all framed, and you got red, and it just looks really kind of cool. So overall, I really like that. It helped delve into and set up what Moon Knight has been up to, who he is, what he's kind of dealing with. Now, granted, this is older of how long Moon Knight issue 1's been out and what's been going on, but I liked getting into it. It's one that I might look into, like, eventually. I won't go out and get it on my pull list, but if this looks and sounds really awesome to you, I would heavily suggest checking it out. I've loved what Jed MacKay's been doing with the Avengers, with Doctor Strange, with Blood Hunt. This sounds like a really good one that at some point I might look into getting, like, the trade backs or whatnot, because the art style and the writing just really pops out. I like learning about the vampires because Jed MacKay's been, like, setting up this whole stuff with the vampires, vermin, and then setting up of Hunter's Moon and what goes on with that. It's nice to see the beginning of it like that. I'm like, oh, cool. So I'll definitely suggest picking this up if you're interested in looking into these ones, because they're supposed to be good for, like, jumping on points for readers. Because I've liked what Spider-Man's been doing, I've liked what the Avengers have been doing, and even just from this, I'm like, that sounds like really cool to delve into Moon Knight like that. Have Hunter's Moon in the background, Hunter's Moon doing stuff, this other kind of character being like, I'm gonna drag you down to nothing. So yeah, I really like this, and if you could check into this and look into this so that way you have a feel for it for yourself. If you want to look into any of these comics, that's what these are for. And again, I hand it to Marvel. This is a very good idea, and I hope that they continue to do this. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.